What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a MultiVersus news update, but no clickbait involved. I know this is a wild one to put out on the platform. We're not going to have any Black Adam confirmed move set in here. We're not going to have any Walter White coming to MultiVersus leaked skin set. Everything that I say will have the source of where it came from, which most of them will be Tony, one of the devs of the game. Everything that I say in this video and talk about will be put on screen with like the source of where I got it. Most of them are just from Tony's Twitter. Tony is a dev of the game if you guys didn't know, and he's also like the most public dev, so he talks a lot about what's happening with the game, updates with the game, stuff like that. So if you want to keep up, you can follow Tony on Twitter, or if you guys want me to keep making these videos, I'll continue to make these and kind of fill you guys in on what you may be missing. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, the number one priority that everybody has been begging for, servers, followed by the number two priority that everyone has been begging for, ranked. We have an update on both of those. So Tony tweeted, "We're always going to give everything we got to deliver awesome stuff to players, excited about the future." And then somebody replied and said, "Does the future mean ranked and or better servers?" And Tony replied with, "Both are coming." Now we kind of already knew that ranked and servers were coming, but we never had like an actual confirmation about ranked in general. The devs had never confirmed that there would be a ranked system or a ranked game mode. So this is, I believe, the first ranked confirmation that we've gotten. I think everybody like knew it was coming, but it's great to hear it directly from the devs, and for them to say both are coming means that it should be very soon, because devs don't usually announce things until they're almost ready or like it's right on the horizon, you know what I mean? So it's hard to believe that Tony would reply and say, "Oh yeah, better servers and ranked are coming," when it's going to be like 3 months until we get them. So if I had to make a guess, better servers and ranked within the next month. That's my prediction. That's just based on past experience of games and how devs tend to handle like social things, what they leak, what they say. No dev will like tell you something that's really far out, you know what I mean? Next up, this is a little bit weird. I don't know if this is actually coming or not, but Wiz Khalifa has been tweeting about MultiVersus recently. He's had a couple tweets about MultiVersus. Looks like he's been grinding, and Wiz Khalifa tweeted and said, "I'm a beast with Taz, but I ain't gonna lie, Shaggy's my favorite right now." And MultiVersus official account replied and said, "Wiz Khalifa playing MultiVersus. This is the best timeline." And then Wiz Khalifa quote tweeted that and said, "Y'all need to make me on the game." And Tony retweeted it. This doesn't mean Wiz Khalifa is coming to MultiVersus. I'm not gonna say that. Like I said, this isn't a clickbait video. I'm not gonna put this in the title. Wiz Khalifa coming to MultiVersus, confirmed moveset. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't think it'll happen, but it's just cool interaction that I felt like sharing. Anyway, on to some more serious stuff. We have balance changes that went out. Tony tweeted out and said, "An online-only fix is rolled out to fix a bug that was causing the Rick blaster to do a lot more damage than intended." This was when Rick would use both of the downwards Meeseek, like the golf ability, and then shoot his bullet. And if both of the golf Meeseeks hit the bullet, it would do, I think it was 217 damage with one shot, which just one hit KO people. So it was really cool to see. There was like 2 Twitter clips of people pulling it off in a real match where they would hit somebody with this one blaster shot and it would just KO them instantly off the map. So they fixed that. A fix for Rick being able to teleport through the wall on Scooby's Mansion. Scooby's Mansion is the map with the 2 walls on the outside and like the hole in the ceiling up here, and basically Rick's portal could teleport outside the map and then he wouldn't be able to get back in unless the other guy broke the walls. So that's fixed. Fixed for Velma's ground up special, causing ice to continuously stack. I don't even know what that was, but if you're a Velma player, I guess that's been fixed. And then here's some balance changes. So Morty right now, if he uses his recall and then he presses down special, he can recall himself. But in 2v2s, if you guys didn't know, if you placed the recall and your teammate was about to die, no matter where they were, no matter what ability was hitting them, if they were in hit stun, if they were going flying off the map, they would just go back to the reset point. The duration on this was 5 seconds, which was super long and made it super easy because you could just like predict when they were going to be hit off in the next 5 seconds and then it would save them. So now this has changed to 3 seconds, which makes it more of a skill thing where you actually have to pull them back and like time it correctly. Next up, Taz's chicken debuff was causing long duration passive play. The decay was 5 seconds and total of 18 stacks each, requiring 1 second to decay. In worst case scenarios, an opponent that wanted to wait out the tasty debuff had to wait 23 seconds. So this means if you were like about to get chickened and you had that bar almost full, you would have to go 23 seconds without getting hit, which I've said this before, that timer was way too long. Once you got up to like 15, 16, 17, it just feels like you have to run around for like 30 seconds. I guess it's 23. So there's the official timer. We've reduced the Taz's tasty decay start to 4 from 5 and tasty decay rate reduced 2.5 from 1. Tasty block duration to 8 from 6, which is the duration that prevents you from receiving the tasty debuff after you've been turned into a chicken. So this means that you'll be getting turned into the chicken easier and you'll have less times where you're about to like wait out the entire duration. So basically when he's working that bar up, he will eventually get it up. There's no getting past that. This makes it easier for him to fill up that bar. But then after he fills up that bar, there's a longer period of time before you can start to be chicken, and then the decay starts earlier than it did before. So basically if you're at a lower amount and like in the, under 10 range, you might be able to get that decay off and go back to fighting. But if you're above 10, you should just keep fighting until you get chickened and then try to survive when you're chickened. This is kind of a buff for Taz. I know it's like complicated. It'll make more sense once you guys see it in game. It's kind of a buff, and I don't really think that that was necessary at all. Taz right now is actually super strong, unpopular opinion. The whole community has this mindset of thinking that Taz is really bad because he used to be really bad, but if everybody started playing today, a lot of people would think that Taz is overpowered, I would say, because I do think that his priority is insane right now. His knockback is insane right now. The ability to completely stop them from attacking you by using like 3 of his moves that all stop them from attacking you is crazy. Now, I don't think Taz is OP, but I think that he's definitely holding a spot in the S tier right now, so to see him getting buffed is a little bit weird to me, but we'll have to see how it plays out in game. More balance changes, Gizmo being attached to allies, increasing attached to same player cooldown to 15 seconds from 9 seconds, reducing damage needed to knock Gizmo off ally to 7 damage from 10 damage. So this means that Gizmo is able to get on his teammates back less frequently, and then when he's on his teammates back, it's actually easier to knock him off of his teammates back. I think this is solid. Gizmo is another character that, like, unpopular opinion, I think is pretty strong right now. So it's cool to see that getting changed because it was crazy the amount that he could just get on someone's back and cheese you for the whole game. Again, these are online only fixes. It will not be reflected in the lab or local play. Please let us know if you run into any of these issues again. So that's finalizing that, wrapping the bow on that one. There's all the balance changes that came out. This isn't enough to warrant like an actual balance change update and like patch notes, you know, but it was more of just like an overnight patch or something that fixed a few problems in the game. Next up, I want to talk about something that is pretty interesting to see. Tony tweeted and said, we should probably make a few more straightforward characters. Been a pretty long string of complex characters. This is something that a lot of people have noticed, including me. I've talked about this in a few of my videos, that all of the characters that have come out recently seem to be way more complex than the starting roster. Like if you compare someone like Morty, who has so much complexity to his kit and different things and like 7 different cooldowns and like a UFO and grenade splitting and then a lasso and like a whip and all this stuff, and then compare that to someone like Shaggy that just punches and kicks. And then you think about the fact that Gizmo came out, who's got like this popcorn, and then you can stack up the music notes in the popcorn and then shoot the popcorn to explode it like a shotgun, and then get in a car and drive the car around and then get back in the car to light it on fire and then throw an exploding car. So like that's another complex character. And then we look at Rick now. I'm not going to go in and bore you again with going into all the details, but everybody knows, I mean, all the characters that have been coming out have been super complex, hard to learn, tons of different abilities, tons of different cooldowns. So it seems to me that their priority is focusing on more straightforward characters, more people like Shaggy, people like Finn, people like even Batman, really, I would say is more of a straightforward character. So for those of you that have been enjoying the complex characters like I have, sort of a sad day because the next character is going to be pretty simple is what we can assume. But out of the 2 characters that we think are coming next, which is Stripe and Black Adam, we don't know which is confirmed. A lot of people seem to think that Black Adam will release with the movie, which looks like October 21st, 2022. So that makes me think that Stripe is coming first because we're going to get another character. Characters come out every 2 weeks, and there's currently, looks like 3 weeks until the Black Adam movie release date. So that makes me think that we're probably going to get Stripe a little bit early and then probably Black Adam with the movie release date. That would be my guess, but again, we don't know anything confirmed for the order there. But it's safe to assume that both Stripe and Black Adam will be more simple characters, easier to understand, way less cooldown abilities, way more self-explanatory characters. So if you've been looking forward to getting some easier characters in the game, this is probably your chance. But yeah, safe to assume that Stripe and Black Adam will both be relatively simple. This is another thing that we kind of had like almost confirmed, but it's still worth mentioning. Somebody tweeted at Tony and said, we need a lot more stages, and Tony replied and said they are coming. Now, again, we know more stages are always going to be coming. They're never going to just stop making stages. I think Smash has like, how many stages does Smash have? They have so much. 103. Yeah, so I mean, it's we know a lot more stages are coming, but again, devs don't tweet about stuff like this unless it's coming in the near future. So this means that we can expect probably multiple stages in the next month. I think that the next month is actually going to be pretty big for MultiVersus, with servers being fixed, ranked coming out, new stages, and then 2 more characters that we can expect. So a lot coming from MultiVersus this month. I just want to touch on that really quickly. Another interesting tweet, somebody tweeted at Tony and said, are there any plans for giving Garnet any significant buffs? She's regarded as one of the worst / the worst characters since I started playing. In my eyes, she just lacks a big combo game, which I completely agree with. Garnet has been bottom of the barrel for a while now. We have never seen a period where Garnet is like even above B tier, really. Now, again, this doesn't mean that you can't be good with a character. Just because people are good with a character does not mean that the character is good. Garnet is significantly weaker than the majority of the cast. Anyway, Tony replied and said, we're looking at Garnet, which again, devs don't tweet things like this unless they're coming soon. When Tony tweeted that they were looking at Batman, there was patches for Batman that came out, I think like 2 patches within the next month, which both had balance changes for Batman. And then same with bugs. When they said they were investigating bugs, they had, I think, 3 patches in the same month that all addressed bugs. Velma, when they said that they were going to be addressing Velma changes came out pretty quickly after that. So we can expect some Garnet buffs in the very near future. This should be coming out within the next, like, honestly, I would say the next week. I think a balance change patch is going to drop. In this balance change patch, it is safe to expect some of the like meta picks being nerfed, such as Batman, bugs again, probably Velma again. You can expect a couple 2v2 nerfs for her, probably some smaller ones. I think it's safe to expect a couple small Rick nerfs. I don't personally think Rick is overpowered, but the general community community is pretty frustrated with Rick's power right now. I kind of am of the mindset of when new characters come out, you kind of have to give them some time to figure out how to counter them and play against them before you start begging for nerfs. I mean, Rick's been out for less than a week and people are like begging for nerfs, saying he's the most overpowered character. I think if they just gave him some time, it would be a little bit easier to see the balance of him, but it is safe to expect some small Rick nerfs coming, unfortunately. Along with that, I think it is also safe to expect some more Iron Giant nerfs. This is dumb. I don't think that Iron Giant needs more nerfs to the things that they've been nerfing. Iron Giant to me seems like a case of the devs not knowing how to balance him, where they're nerfing the parts of him that aren't overpowered over and over, and then leaving the overpowered parts that are causing Iron Giant to have like the highest win rate in the game, such as his shield that he can summon while he's being hit stun comboed and then get back super easily, where he can just spam that shield the whole game, such as his grab where he can just grab you and then throw you up and do his spin move and then hit you off the stage at like 20%. There are so many 2-stocks happening before an Iron Giant even gets to like 100 damage because of that grab move in combination with the shield, giving him incredible defensive play. It seems like every balance change update, the devs nerf other parts of Iron Giant that don't need to be nerfed and in fact probably need to be buffed. In the case of Iron Giant, it just feels like there's these abilities that are so overpowered and these abilities that suck, and they just keep nerfing these further and further while ignoring these. So yeah, I think it's safe to expect some more Iron Giant nerfs if you're an Iron Giant main. Sorry, but they're probably coming. He still has one of the highest win rates in the game. But then for buffs, I think it's pretty safe to expect Garnet buffs like we've seen Tony tweeting about. Along with that, we will probably get some more tuning to Superman because Superman's still been a pretty weird character in a lot of people's heads, so I'm expecting some changes there. That's just my predictions. You know, take it with a grain of salt. I could be entirely wrong. This is just what I've noticed from playing the game a lot, probably an unhealthy amount, and what I've noticed from the general community because I have a YouTube channel where people will comment and tell me their opinions on things. I swear every video I get like 100 comments about, oh, this character's OP, this character sucks, even when they're completely unrelated to the video, but it helps me to get an idea of kind of what the community's thinking. So that's just my takes on the balance of the game and what to expect. But yeah, that's going to do it for this this news update. Basically just some updates on what the devs have been talking about, what they've been addressing, what they've been like brainstorming, because if you don't follow them on any other social medias, you would have no idea that they've talked about these things. But yeah, some exciting stuff coming in the next month, so be ready for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.